G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. First of all, I guess I'll say hello to the people watching this post-stream. You are my favourite people. Well, no, actually, everybody who's subscribed is my favourite person. Oh, drinking a bit of Moccona coffee, as I know Blake would disagree with the fact that it's good coffee. So I'm live. Oh, I can't see it anymore. Approximately 21 minutes early. Basically, the reason is because Blake's Aquatics is live, and he just messaged me saying he wants to jump off, and so there's a lot of subscribers that I have that he has, so just giving them the option to jump straight over to our live stream. I'll probably still run the members giveaway at 5:30 Western Standard Time, just because that's what time I normally run it at, 30 minutes into the stream. And the stream was actually scheduled for 5 o'clock. So I want the members to be, if they want to watch for the prizes, to be able to see it. And also, I haven't done my list of names. What I should do is whenever I do the raffle is keep all the tickets, put the persons back in there. And then when we get, oh no, it wouldn't work. We're just going to rewrite them every month. I should do it on the computer. Oh, if anybody's... Oh, no, not if anybody's smart like that. I'll just leave it how it is. Now, I'm thinking about doing a giveaway on the stream, but I haven't decided yet. I'm going to wait until we get to about maybe 5:15 and see how many people from Perth are in the room, because unfortunately the giveaway I'm thinking about doing will have to be Perth only. Oh, and Blake's just finished up his stream there. I'm actually watching Blake as I'm talking to you guys. I couldn't hear him for the last few minutes there, but that was a cool stream. I actually learned a couple of things. One cool thing about Blake's Aquatics is it's just like the polar opposite to me. So he actually does. I do learn a few things from his videos, as I'm sure he does from mine. Check out the comments. Blake's raid. Blake has hashtagged his own raid. Oh, g'day Matty. G'day Fishboy. G'day Joe. G'day John. G'day Blake. G'day Aquarium Analytic. Hey Prawny, how are ya? Aquaballs. G'day Rhinos Aquatics. Luke Woody, Ed Star, Amy, T-Bones, BJ Palmer. G'day Blake, and I appreciate the sending the people over. G'day Pete, how are ya? And g'day the Fishing Cartel. So I noticed, like, just before Blake's stream end, he was saying how much I love goldfish. For anybody who's like followed the journey, I went from like a goldfish hater to a goldfish lover within like a day. For anybody who doesn't know, I know there's a few fresh faces in the chat. The video on repeat behind me is actually my goldfish tank. If you look at that Riken there, where is he? There. No, wrong way. There. Watch him for the video. He like just sits upside down and chills. If you look down the bottom here, there's a little guy that's not doing so well. For anybody who doesn't watch my videos, the other day I had a bit of a filter problem and I left the filters off for about 9 hours, and it did affect a couple of them because it wasn't just no filter. It was I only had one little air stone in there as well. Oh, Blake says my goldfish look really nice. Yeah, thanks for that. I've got Ryan from Green Pet Central to thank for that. The story behind it is all of these goldfish are actually just from like a basic wholesaler in Australia, but because he runs the fish store, he is actually pulling out the nicest he's seen, and he was putting them in a tank at his house. So even though they are only chain store goldfish, or not chain store, wholesale goldfish, they're like selected out of hundreds by a shop owner and grown out at his house. So I bought them off Ryan. I didn't buy them from Kareen, and you can definitely tell the fact that he's selected the quality out of the bunch. And so those big ones in there, according to Ryan, they're actually only 9 months old from 3 centimeters. But they were in a 1,000-liter tank, so that's quite interesting. I'm interested to see if the smaller ones in here. I'm horrible at pointing at a green screen video. If the smaller ones do pump in there, or whether they struggle because there's big ones in there. But time will tell. Time will tell. Oh, awesome, Craig, new member. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were already a member, Craig. I guess if you weren't, you've always been there to support me, so I might have presumed you were. Yeah, that was a pretty big raid, Blake. That's the biggest raid I've seen on my channel. The big red and white one. That one just over my shoulder there, other shoulder. Is that a right? I can't remember. I think it's a Riken. I know the names, but I get them mixed up. So like, so basically what I do is the main one I remember is the red cap Arando. So then I remember that the other one next to it is an Arando. And then I'm pretty sure the really bent back ones, they're Ranchu, right? I'm pretty sure. And then the real short body parrot looking ones are Riken, I think. Oh, another new member, T-Bones. Welcome, welcome. That means you're in the running for the competition. Oh, our Russian friend is back in the chat. Every week you're here. I just call you Life because I don't know what the rest of it is, but welcome, Life. And we're definitely going to get one dislike in this video because Matty D reckons he's going to dislike every video that has goldfish in it. So there you go, mate. There's your dislike. So put some real fish, John. Do you know what's funny? Like, I've had some seriously expensive fish in that tank, and then now I've got goldfish in it. I've had discus, I've had Fahaka puffer fish, I've had angels, which aren't expensive, and I've had some super rare Africans in there. At one stage I had like probably about $1,500 worth of African cichlids in there. It's been an interesting tank. Oh, g'day Shooter, I think I missed you, sorry. So I don't really know what we're going to talk about today. Oh, there was one thing that I wanted to talk to about early in the stream. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone that messaged me. I think it was Wednesday's video and also the members video on Monday and then Wednesday's video. You guys know I try really hard to keep the channel positive and not let my moods bring the channel down, but you guys all saw that at the start of this week I was hurting, and I just can't believe how many nice messages I got. It was so humbling. Even today, like it's been going all week. You guys know who you are. Some members, some subscribers. Even somebody messaged me saying they're a new subscriber and just telling me to look after myself, and it was really cool, guys. I think I told you guys I'm putting a hold on selling fish. Just it might only be just like a couple of weeks. At this stage, you guys all restored my faith in humanity. Yeah, Blake, so I was thinking about trying some plans. Obviously, goldfish are goldfish. So you know how I was having the guppy grass issue. The goldfish actually ate all the guppy grass, so that's now gone. If you look over my left shoulder, you can see that tiny little green strand there in the black. That is actually a plant. I can't remember what plant. Is it Rostratus? No, that's the fish. Hara? Blake will know. It's that the red tipped. Nah, not Val. It's got like it's like a green tall plant, and then yeah, that one. Hotala Hara. That's a strand of that. Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know, this is a 4 by 2 by 2.5, so it's 550 odd liters, and it's running 2 canister filters, an Aqua One Nautilus 2700, and an eBay spec P4000, I think it is, which is an 1800 liter an hour canister filter, and it's also on a constant drip. So this tank gets constant fresh water. The nitrates sit on about 5 ppm. I am interested to test the nitrates again because I've added way more fish in the last couple of weeks. I actually am surprised that the filter's keeping up because I went from 6 discus to 22 goldfish overnight. Not that I don't expect the filters to keep up long term, but just like the huge increase in bio load overnight, like the filters don't get the time to build up the bacteria. I think so. That's one interesting thing. I think a lot of people don't know about filtration is you can have the world's biggest filter, but if say you've got like 5 fish and then you put 50 fish in the tank the next day, even if you've got world's biggest filter and it's cycled, there's still not enough good bacteria in the filter to handle those 50 fish. So your tank won't go through a full cycle because the filter's already cycled, but your tank will actually do a mini cycle if you put that much bio load in a tank that quickly. But generally most fish, the cycle happens that quick that it's not long enough to actually affect the fish. So there's a little interesting one for you. John coming through with the chat about the FX filters. Everybody knows that I'm too cheap to buy an FX filter. T-Bones, yes. So I go live every Friday, but 8 minutes from now. So that's 5 p.m. my time. Obviously, most likely different time your time. I am thinking about changing the day, but I'm not sure what day. The reason is when the Australian football season starts, I don't want to be live when there's a football game playing. There's 2. Is Black Telescopes a Blackmore? If it is, there's 2 in there. Look, there's one right there. Man, this is so difficult. See just there where the tip of the pen is? They're tiny. They're tiny. I want to get more Panda Moors, which is the one I did up the very top. But I want to get Panda Moors that are predominantly black with a little bit of white. G'day, Matt. How are you? Oh, Blake, massive AFL fan. Yes, I am. No, I'm definitely not. In fact, I'm a complete non-sportsman person. I don't follow any sports. But I just want to think of the crowd. I know there's a lot of people that watch the channel that watch sports, so I want to free that time up for them. I don't know what day I'll go yet. I was kind of thinking about going... Well, I haven't actually thought about it. I was thinking about doing Thursdays before or after Blake, but the problem with that is I think this year the football season is going to be Thursday nights as well. And also, I don't know if Blake's doing Thursdays anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. If I'm watching a game, I do support West Coast Eagles. But, yeah, the only sport I really don't mind following is I like going to the 2020 cricket, but I don't watch it on TV. I only like it if I go there with the boys, if you know what I mean. I don't even know what teams there are in NRL. So NRL is a strange one. Like, not many people in Western Australia follow it. I think it's more of an East Coast thing. Catch the Perth Wildcats basketball game. Is that so I can get COVID? For anybody who doesn't know, the person in Perth that created the lockdown, he attended the Perth Wildcats game last weekend, and that's why the lockdown was such a big deal. Yeah, it's definitely the atmosphere that gets me going if I do go to the T20 matches. And they got like all the fireworks and all that sort of jazz. I've got to actually organize myself, guys. I haven't looked up the members. Oh yeah, and also the people that have just joined the memberships, you will be eligible as long as you come up on my members list, which I think you should. It's funny, right, guys? Like yesterday's video, I called out someone, Julian, about the what are they called? Red Texas. And it's funny, he actually commented. I should do that more often because I never know who's actually watching the videos. If I like start calling out people, see if they comment. Wow, this list is getting way bigger. There's quite a few people that are in the 3 monthly things tier, which is cool. I think like we've still got Chev and Eel in the unnecessary tier. I still can't believe you guys chose that tier. But yeah, I guess you got a good chance of winning the. I guess I can't really talk. When we do raffles at the PCS, I buy like $20 worth of tickets at a time. All right. Let me go back here. There's a bit of a canister filter chat. All right. So I know I've said this like 600 times, but I had an FX6 fail on me. To be fair on the filters, it was when FX transferred from the FX5 to FX6. It was the very first batch released. So, and how's this, guys? I paid $300 for my FX6, and between the time that I bought it, I got it fixed, and then I sold it. And when I sold it, I actually got $400 for it secondhand because the price had gone from $300 to $500 new. Oh, here's Matt with his WH5000 stuff. I saw a couple of people last week complaining about their WH5000s leaking, and they were leaking in the same spot that mine does. So that's quite interesting. The only difference is I persevered and I managed to bodge up the leak so it didn't leak. FX6 are a pain to clean. I think any canister filters are a pain to clean. If you guys caught last week on the videos, like I cleaned both of mine and I literally had to pull them back apart because both of them started leaking. You guys know I'm an advocate for the Nautilus 2700, but when they leak, they shit me. But as far as value for money, as long as you just never open them, I guess they're good. Matt, must have been a bad batch. Yeah, maybe. So it wasn't actually the leak that did the damage to my thoughts on the WH5000. I've managed to bodge the leak and it stopped leaking. The filter actually kept on coming up with an error and just turning off completely, and I had to turn the power off for like 10 seconds at a time to get it to turn back on. Oh, how did you guys catch where I tried to get the lid off the Nautilus 2700? I low-key wanted to film that video again, but I knew that it would make for some funny content. But yeah, it definitely was the way to go. And somebody commented saying you can put your finger over the hole and press the prime button. The reason I didn't do that and I put my finger on it and turned it on is because the people with the UV model, they can't press the prime button because it doesn't have one. So that's why I did it without the prime button. So the video was kind of tailored to those people as well. Yeah, interesting, Chev. You haven't had a problem with your 5000s? Matt, did you watch my video on like Tuesday? Go back and watch my video on getting the lid off the 2700. I got it off easy. I was super happy. Ryan from Korean Pet Central actually told me that little trick on getting them apart. Also directed at Chev and Matt, don't you think it's a bit ridiculous how small the 5000 is inside? So like if you compare the flow rate to the actual contact time on the media, because the WH5000 is only 2/3 of the size of a Nautilus 2700, but I'm pretty sure a Nautilus 2700 is only 2/3 of the 5000's flow rate. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the flow rate is just way too high for how much media fits in it. Matt says he did watch it, but still a pain to open. Do you know what, actually? I'm just not a fan of canister filters. Can I say that? I think I said it in the video the other day. So for anybody who doesn't know, the canister filters on the 4-foot, that's the first time I've had canisters in like 4 or 5 years. I did away with canisters a long time ago, and the only reason there's canisters on that tank, the single reason, is because I had CO2 on it with the plants, and I didn't want to dissipate the CO2 with the sump. So now that the CO2 is no longer on the tank, well, you guys know I'm thinking about putting a sump on it. The problem is it's a pretty big job. The tank's drilled. It's got 4 holes drilled in it, so that's not the issue. I just have to redesign all the plumbing, which isn't a huge deal, but it would be a big job. I think if I sump it, I'll be doing a custom sump because I want to go as big as I possibly can. So I'll be using up the entire cabinet and probably try and fit like 300 liters under there. So make the total volume of it 800 liters, and then I could put some more goldfish in the tank. I've only ever had cheap hob filters. I pretty much have steered clear of them just because I've heard bad things about them from the start. But I guess maybe I should try a good one day. Shooters thinking there may be a sump building vlog. Yes, well, that definitely may be the case. I've got to decide whether I make it out of glass or fiberglass. Yeah, so the old Eheim Classic canister filters are definitely probably the best I've ever seen. But they've also got quite a price tag, hey? I've owned one, but it was just happened to come secondhand with the tank. I've actually owned two. Yeah. I was cheeky. I had two of them, and they had like the Eheim taps on them, and somebody was looking for the taps. And I remember I sold like the 4 taps and like disconnection pipes and stuff for like $80, and went to Bunnings and spent $10 and bought fittings, and I made $80 off the hoses, and then just used it. I don't even think I gave them the hoses. I think I only gave them the fittings, and I just put a couple of black irrigation fittings on them. I quite enjoyed that Maconan coffee, Blake. Ill Haze, don't worry. We did start a bit early, but we haven't done a raffle or anything, so you haven't missed out on anything. I got to start writing my list. It's even like the same. Look, it's the same piece of paper I used for the last raffle because it's ripped off. Hopefully my pen works. What way should I write on the paper? Let's write this way. I really should have written this before because the list is getting longer and it's going to take me longer. And you guys have got to sit there and chill while I do it. Oh, my pen's not working. I think I was just playing with it for too long. Oh, no. I got another one. Oh, T-Bone's nothing but problems with that AquaClear hob filter. That's not good. I'm guessing one of the main issues with them is they break siphon. Is that a thing? I feel like you're always going to have problems when you're trying to pull water over the glass. I could be completely wrong because I'm not a hob filter specialist, but let me know. All right. First up, we've got Craig at the top of the list. T-Bones, you're just TB, all right? We got Joe. Joe's got 3. Journey of Ashley. That's a new one. Yeah, 2 days ago. Welcome. Also, we've got 2 people with the same initials now. Wow, can't speak English. Somebody went onto the Patreon and signed up the other day, so I don't know if it's still in my description or what, but I've got to delete that because that's no good. They're paying money for nothing because I don't post on there anymore. All right. Who are we up to? I didn't pay attention then. Gotcha. GL. I think the next one's Ead. Is that how you say it? If you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong. Looks like the chat's going off. I need to look back at the chat, don't I? EJ is 3. All right, I'll do a bit of chat and then we'll go back up. We'll go back up. Have good. Yeah, so some hob filters, do they start dry without priming them? I don't like anything that's got a siphon. So like somebody was actually asking me yesterday about doing a sump without drilling the tank, and I've had a tank that was sumped without drilling it, and just that constant fear of like wondering if the overflow box ever breaks siphon, it's not a good feeling. Oh, leaks on the bottom of the pump there. I've actually seen that in a hob filter before. I find with the cheap things like that, it's as soon as you like adjust something or like if you move that pump on the bottom, that's when you start to see leaks because the seals aren't that great. Oh, John tried to cancel your Patreon sub. All right, I'll see if I can go in and delete people, and I guess if I close the Patreon, it should just delete everyone. I hope. I'll do that tonight. It's been on my to-do list for like a good, well, however long I've had the members open before. John, double tickets. I'll go across and I think I can. After I've written this list down, if you're still on there, John, I'll give you a ticket for your Patreon membership as well. I think that's only fair. Where am I? Sam. SS. Old eel. You got 10. I think it was 10, wasn't it? Yeah. EH. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys. I know I always write this list on the live stream. It's definitely getting to the point where I need to think about doing it before the live stream or doing it digitally somehow, because this is too long. I don't like you guys sitting there doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs while I write this list out. I'm still only like halfway. Jeez. All right, keep the chat going, and I'll keep replying to some stuff. Chev, can't remember if you cancelled. I'll go and have a look. Next is Nathan. How you going, mate? I wonder if he's in the chat. Sorry, I don't mean if he's. Well, I guess if he's watching, but if he's watching, he would be in the chat, wouldn't he? Chev with 10 tickets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, and also, Anonymous, you're in the chat. I can see you're just here now. Welcome. Morning, Ray. I love your comments every day. They're great. Anonymous, swing me a message on Facebook. You're that anonymous that I forgot what your full name is, and I just need the chat. I just need our conversation to pop up in my messages, so I can find your address again, because I haven't organized your prize. Speaking of anonymous, you're the next ticket. How many people from Perth are in the chat? That's what I really need to know. I've got a pretty crazy giveaway for Perth people. I don't know whether I'm going to do it on this live stream or whether I'll do it during the week. It says one person failed to load. I'll refresh the page because we don't want anyone missing out. Alright, so we got ill in Perth. Damn, there's one person in the members that it just says failed to load. I wonder if that means they've like deleted their account or something, or they've been blocked. And then the last one's Tatarsdale, who Tatarsdale doesn't like being in the raffles. Alright, I don't even know if I'll be able to get on the Patreon, to be honest. I don't even remember the password. Oh, it's already logged in. I wonder if I can cancel my Patreon without deleting my Patreons, because I've actually got Patreons. I've got messages. Oh, those very old messages. Wow, it was November 10th was the first time I posted on members. Time flies when you're having fun. I can't remember how to use this. I remember this is why I got rid of it, because I don't like it. Alright, no, Chev, you're not on there. And John, you're not on there. The only person is Jordan. I don't know if Jordan's in the chat on here. But it's weird. Yeah, I need to... Can I delete? Oh, sweet. I can decline them. I wonder if I just press decline if it deletes them. That's cool. Man, it's going to take me ages to rip these up. I don't have anything to put them in. No, it's a bad idea. I got a little jar. All right, let's get some questions in the chat, I reckon, while I screw these up. My leg fish was. Yeah, so Chev, tell your local fish store to just wait a minute and it'll be around. You already know what's going on. I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat knows what's going on. But there is some extreme on a boat somewhere in the ocean. Let's just say that. I'm excited to get it because apparently it's a newer recipe and it hasn't gone through that microwave process that normally fish food goes through to come to Australia. Someone in the comments might know the name of that procedure. So the food should be way fresher. We'll see. We'll see. I think like I've noticed when you open the extreme fish food that I've got now, you can definitely smell it's older. Like it used to be smell a lot fresher. I think AI Aquarium Industries had it sitting in their warehouse for a very long time, and it's crazy how it's so old yet my fish still love it and breed like mad. Yeah, irrigated. So I don't know how they got away with it, but basically they got a permit. You probably all know who they is. Got a permit to bring it into the country without getting irrigated. So it should be better. If you look at the old extreme that came from AI, I'm sure Chev, you'll know this one. If you open the packets and the plastic feels like kind of brittle and like hard, and that's actually because the one that came to Australia previously is all irrigated, whereas like I said, the new stuff's not going to be. Oh, Blake, you work in that sort of industry, hey? How do they nuke it? Is it just like a giant microwave? And is it in Australia? Is it like once it lands? Yeah, Craig, there's no use by dates on extreme food. Yeah, it's not good how old some of it is. That's why I'm so excited about a new shipment coming in. But I will say, I know that the extreme I'm using at the moment is very old, and my fish just thrive on it. It's just so good. I'm not even lying. See that logo on my screen that says Extreme Fish Foods? That's not a paid logo. I've chosen to put that on my screen. I have no obligation at all to promote Extreme Fish Food. But I love it for even the goldfish are on Extreme. check out the is it Riken? I don't know whether it's a swim bladder issue or whether it's just a goldfish issue. Ash got extreme at so Ryan had the extreme at the swap meet so cheap. Unfortunately, previous to it has been a super expensive food, but the thing is, because not much of it was coming into the country, and there was not much adoption for the food in Australia. That's why the price sat so high. So if we smash it and I get more people using extreme, the cheaper the food's going to become. The more that they import, the cheaper it is. And it's just one of those cycles. At the moment, like, you'll notice like one of our cheaper, higher quality brand foods is New Life Spectrum, but that's just one of the reasons is because how Australia wide it's been adopted, and like the amount that they import actually affects the sales price that we pay. Yeah, so Ash, those tubs, those tubs that were $25, I think they were retailing for about $70 or $80 in Australia for like the last year or two. So they were crazy cheap. It's actually the price that it's been retailing for is slightly higher than NLS. I believe NLS retail 2.2 kilos. It's like $180. Extreme 1.8 kilos was closer to 200, so it was more expensive. But obviously, I'm just trying to remember numbers off the top of my head. I haven't actually seen the 1.8 kilo extremes for sale for quite a while. Korean has heaps of the 500 grams, but so if you're after 500 gram tubs, just swing them a message on Facebook, and also just swing them a message and say, are you willing to repeat the price that you had them at the swap meet? They might say no, but just tell them I sent you. Frenzy, is it Fish Food Frenzy or Frenzy Fish Food? It's not bad. I have used it, but I've never used it by itself. I've always mixed it with NLS. I used to use NLS Thera A mixed with Frenzy Fish Food, and then I went to Extreme mixed with NLS mixed with Frenzy Fish Food. Then I dropped the Frenzy Fish Food and I was using NLS mixed with Extreme. This is over 2 years probably. And then now I just use Extreme by itself. I don't even mix it anymore. Breno says half price. Yeah, message him and see what he says. G'day, Jesse. Hooked on Fish for anybody who's reading the chat. I heard from Hooked on Fish today. We're having a good old chat about customers. Yeah, so the aquaculture pellets I've used for years as well, but the aquaculture pellets I've talked about on the channel in the last week is actually what gave my polystigma the blood disease, so I'm kind of off it. But I used to feed that aquaculture pellet. I'm still feeding it to the stingrays, and they seem to be doing fine, except for the fact that they're attacking each other like mad. But that's not food related, I don't think. Jesse, what have you missed? I don't know. We talked about the goldfish. We talked about how canister filters suck. We talked about yeah, Blake, that label on the Ocean Nutrition food looks wicked. The only problem is it's a flake. I was actually considering trying it out, but I spoke to Adam, and it's actually a flake. And when you move into Ocean Nutrition's bigger, like 3 to 6 millimeter foods, they also have a lot of flour content to bind them. So I'm spewing that there's not a 3 millimeter pellet with that same ingredients list. I did it, guys. It's all, we're all done. So here's an interesting one, John. I've never ever used. Oh no, I'm telling a lie. I've never used flake food besides spirulina. I find like flake food just looks so nothing. To me, it looks like there's no nutrition in it because there's no size to it. I like a solid pellet that the fish like really munches on. I don't know. It's pretty silly. But what do you do? I think it's just because when I first got fish, I started on New Life Spectrum, and I just always stuck to it. I've never tried Aqua Munch, but Josh at Hood's Fish, he swears by Aqua Munch and Fish Feed Frenzy, I think it is. If he's listening, maybe he might drop a comment. But he swears by some of the cheaper Australian-made foods. I want to do a lot more research into food. I've been really interested in like reading the contents a lot more. There's a cheeky little one on the back. Hang on, I'll show you. Let me figure out how to use my computer. Oh, and for anyone playing at home, my computer's been running great. It's crazy how good a new computer can run. 10 years newer, but still like cheap crap computer, really. But Alright, here we go. Transition. Boom, there you go. You guys can see it. Alright, so if you look, hopefully you can see the top corner because I can't see it on my screen. Pull this down a bit here. So for anybody who doesn't know, the one on the left is actually Hikari Blood Parrot Red, and the one on the right is Extreme Big Fella. So one thing I love about the Extreme, if you look, there's krill meal, fish meal, herring meal, shrimp meal. That's 4 fish products before they get to a filler, and then the 5th product is wheat. The only thing, the negative that I see there is a lot of people say that, or not a lot of people, I don't know how much nutrition is still in the meal because they extract the oils to use as fish oils and all that jazz. So krill meal, how much of it is really krill? So that's my first point on looking at this. But so if you look at the Hikari, it says fish meal first. The second one is flaked corn. I don't know about fish, but humans can't digest corn. So I'm guessing that fish can't either. So I'm guessing that's just a filler. Then the third one is also a filler, wheat. Well, I'm guessing they use wheat as a binder. Then yeast. That's not good for you. Well, not good for you, but that's not a fishy product. And then corn gluten. So they've got flaked corn, then corn gluten. They've actually broken corn up into 2 separate items. And I bet you if they just put it as corn, it would be the number 1 ingredient in the food. And if you don't know, these are actually listed from most content to least. So just to stop it saying corn as the main ingredient, they've separated it into 2 ingredients. It's cheeky as cheeky. I'm not going to swear on the thing, but yeah. So I probably should have said that at the start, Jesse. But yeah, so they're listed from most. But I tried Googling it today and looking it up. I was looking to see what the nutritional value of like krill or fish or herring or shrimp, all of the above, how much nutrition is lost in the meal. Extreme do the same with the flour. Oh yeah, you're dead right. Is ground wheat flour? Yeah, oh, I'm guessing it is. I should just do a whole live stream with like all the different foods and the ingredients, and we can just pick buggery out of all the bad things. So like if you look at the Hikari is just Atlaxanthin. I can't even say Aster. You know, the red powder algae. So one thing I was thinking I could do, if on the flower horns, if I want some more red to come through, I could get the red algae powder and actually just powder the food. But it's actually, if you look at the extreme food, it's actually 2/3 of the way down the list. So it's obviously in there. It's still got that red algae as a color enhancer. It's just not as much in as the Hikari blood red. Do we go in? I don't even know how to pronounce the word, Jesse, so we're not going to go too deep into it. There's also the... Where is it? Is it behind my head? I can't find it. There's another chemical or thing in there that is really similar to the Aslaxanthin. How do you say the Astaxanthin? I give up. There's another one which is similar. I can't see it now. So it like started with a C. So I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about white crane, and supposedly it only has things like that as color enhancers, but there's got to be some secret sauce in there. It can't just be. If anybody has used white crane, I've used it not for selling fish, but I've used it when I've accidentally mixed up peacocks and I can separate them. And it like literally feed it 3 times over 1 week, and that's enough for the girls to color up and separate the breeding colonies. I actually wouldn't mind looking at the Hikari. I haven't done the raffle, guys. 6 minutes late. Hikari go. Hang on. G. Man. Yeah. Oh, this is a horrible example. I always like try to find the fish food ingredients, but oh yeah, so Hikari Gold's not much different to the one I just had up on the screen. Fish meal, then wheat flour, then flaked corn, then the yeast. It's actually almost identical to the blood parrot red. I'm guessing it's just got more of the Aslaxanthin or whatever it's called, and all the other, like the chili and that. There's actually a food that Aquatics Aquarium sells. It's called like red chili. I've heard that was pretty good back in the day. I don't know if it still is. I wonder if it comes up if I Google it. I also... No, it's just coming up with blood parrot red. One thing I've noticed about Aquatics Aquariums, definitely not a negative thing, but a lot of the products that they have in their shop, you try and Google them and you can't find any information on them. Same as Same as their Parasite Clear. It's a great product. I love using it. It's worked really well on fish for me. People Australia wide use it, and but it's got no ingredients written on it, and you can't Google it, so don't know what's inside it. Sometimes you can overkill looking for the best quality in pet foods, I reckon. I 100% agree with that. So for anybody who doesn't know, I'm not sure if it was pre-YouTube or while I had YouTube, I used to make all my own fish food. I didn't feed any packet food at all. And the fish colored up really well. The problem I had is they weren't growing. So there's actually a couple of colonies in my fish room that you can still see it. A couple of my colonies are actually a little bit stunted. And when I was growing up fish with my homemade fish food, I don't know what it was missing, but they colored up wicked, so small, but they just weren't growing. I don't know what was missing. There's obviously something important that I was missing. GRB's got some red chili food. Is it like a similar container to that actually? It's got like a bright red lid, but more of a round container. Is it pronounced astaxanthin? What was I saying? Azastathin. I was kind of close. So yeah, like I'm sitting here saying that Hikari Gold looks like it's got shit ingredients. Hikari Gold is like one of the best foods you can feed flower horns. Heaps of people rave about it. I've fed it and they've done really well. So like I definitely agree that reading into the ingredients can be over the top, which is what Blake said earlier. So I definitely think just try everything. I've tried so many foods. There's a food I want to try, but which I haven't. Can't remember what it's called. I really want to try like a krill food, like krill flakes or something. Yeah, that's a good point, Jesse. It's also you got to consider the raw ingredients. Moist, how are you going? G'day, welcome. So I've got my raffle tickets here. Let's do the giveaway. I've put them in a container that I can't fit my hand in. But I can't even open it. I've rolled it too tight. I do this every time. Why don't I just fold them in half? All right. CG. Who's CG? Cody G. I think Cody was in the chat before, eh? Yeah, Tropicals Krill Flakes. That's the one I want to try. But I'm guessing it's $6 million to buy. How much is it? Can you just buy krill? But hang on, tropical krill flakes, that means it's flake. I don't want flake. Let's just Google krill fish food. I should do a screen share, but I'm in images and wondering why it's not coming out. I don't know. It's too hard, guys. It's too hard. Is Cody here? I'm guessing not, because he would have commented in the chat. Arthaxian? Oh, well, that'll do. You guys know what I'm talking about. We don't need to learn how to pronounce words while we're here. So one thing, once this little pallet of Extreme lands in Australia, I'm interested to know what the prices are going to be like. I actually have no idea. So, you guys on the channel will probably be one of the first to know how much they're going to be. I'll make sure I do a video of it, breakdown of what's available and the pricing on it. I looked up kill, not krill. I was like, no food's coming up. Only photos of dead fish. Krill grain XXL 3mm tablets. Whoa. Yeah, I'm glad I'm sitting down when I look at that. Wow, you guys thought Extreme was expensive. 500 grams for $100 plus postage. All right, guys, we're not trying that food. You can get dried shrimp off AliExpress. If I want to give the fish treats like that, I should just go back to giving them. I used to grind up fish heads and that. Fish offal, I think it's called. I should go back to doing that. CB. Did I get it wrong? Did it? There's a chance that I made a mistake. No, that's a G. Craig's just trying to get a free prize out of me. Or are you joking? It's a G. You were close, you were close. What sort of fish heads? Mulloway. Oh, yeah. Is it Mulloway? No, I don't think it's Mulloway. It's something similar to that. It's, I can't remember. What's like the big fish that heaps people catch in Western Australia? Is it Mulloway? Everyone gets really excited about them. Sometimes they catch like massive ones off Shed Jetty. Moist, you should know. You should know. Nah, not Taylor. I'm pretty sure it's Mulloway. Jewfish. Yeah, jewfish. Is it Jew? Well, I think a jewfish is called something different over east or something, but yeah. WA Dewey, yeah, that's the one. I don't know. WA Jewfish. Is that? It's called something different around the world, but I'm pretty sure. But basically, my father-in-law catches quite a few jewfish, so he always gives me the heads, and that used to be the base ingredient in my old fish food that I used to make. Yeah, Jewfish, Mulloway, same thing. Winning. I was right. I'm not very good at my seawater fish. What's like the big fish that looks like a freshwater angelfish, like the big triangle? Is it still an angelfish? Because I saw one of them the other day. I've been going snorkeling in the ocean, guys. I'm not a very good swimmer, but it's fun. Do you want that? Oh, sorry. I'm just reading my messages. Yeah, anyway. I'm getting sidetracked by Facebook, guys. WA Jewfish is completely different to the fish. I don't know what type of fish it is, but the WA Jewfish backbone in the smoker is one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. Everyone wants the dewy wings. Stuff the wings. The backbone. Throw a backbone in a smoker and then put it in the middle of the table during a gathering and just pick the meat between the backbone. It is honestly the best piece of fish meat I've had in my life. And I always ask my father-in-law to save the backbones for me. I'd take a jewfish backbone over a crayfish any day. What's the time, guys? I'm going to shut it down in 10 minutes. We've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. It doesn't feel like that long. Just been having such a cracking time. What do you guys reckon about breeding the goldfish? You can see I've got the breeding things in there. I've noticed I haven't seen the boys chasing the girls as much the last few days. I don't know if they were just trying to assert their dominance when I first put them all in there. But there was a few days there where there was two boys. But the rancher at the bottom, the red one, and the panda moor at the top. Those two were chasing the girls around constantly, and then they stopped. Did anyone see, I posted on Facebook asking about those food charts? A lot of people were commenting telling me that I should just feed frozen foods. Can you imagine feeding 40 odd fish tanks only frozen foods? How high the food bill would be? Hikari pellet shaped like a worm. No, I haven't. I think, do Extreme have a krill? Extreme Fish Food actually have a spirulina krill flake. I wonder if I could get the spirulina krill flake and powder the Extreme Fish Food and then feed that. I wonder if that would be any better than just feeding the straight pellets. Alright, I might have missed a couple of comments here, guys. Oh, GRB, that's not good. A panic attack in the ocean. That's definitely far from fun. Yeah, so Joe's on the right path there. Crayfish are shit. Yeah, I honestly don't think they're that great. Mr. Fish, do I have any DIY plans in the future? Maybe a DIY sump on the goldfish tank. We'll see. I also want to do a video on drilling a fish tank with the fish still in it. So drilling a hole in the side of a fish tank without emptying it. The only problem is all of my tanks are already drilled that have fish in them, so I might have to set up a tank and put a fish in it to make the video. But one of my friends, Ben, wants to sump his tank, and I'm trying to convince him to drill the tank, and I think I've got a better chance of convincing him if he doesn't have to take the fish out of the tank. I think I already said it, but if you're wondering, I have actually drilled a tank with the fish still in it, so it's a proven technique of mine. And it's kind of too hard to explain over the phone, so I think if I make a video and send it to my friend, you guys can all watch the video as well. It's actually really handy having a YouTube channel. When people ask me a question that's too complicated to reply to in a message, I can just make a video on it, and then everybody gets to watch it. And the single person that I'm trying to show something, I can just send them the video. What's the minimum recommended size for it depends what you're chasing. If you're chasing like a nice solid script, you can start culling scripts at like 3 centimeters. You can start culling deformities at 3 centimeters. I would say they don't start killing each other and eating each other till about 5 centimeters. So I would say maybe a light cull at 3 centimeters, and then a medium cull at 4 to 5 centimeters, and then pretty much by like 8 centimeters you want to have most of them culled. The main problem when they start getting to 8 centimeters is they start killing each other. So in saying cull them all at 5 centimeters, I actually, in my IBC that's got 8 centimeter fish in it, there's actually still culls in it. And the only reason there's still culls in it is to keep the population up, because like the more fish, the less aggression. And also the theory that if the nicer looking ones are the bigger ones, if there's culls that are big, I'll cull them. But the small culls I keep in there, because the small ones get attacked, and I would rather the culls get attacked than if I take all the culls out and then only attacking good ones. Does that make sense? Yeah, so Moist, like the ones with only a little dot on the tail, I would cull them. But then like yeah, it all depends. Like, I would say keep the 1 dots if you're trying to get Thai silks, but generally, even if they're a full script and they do become a Thai silk, the silk just takes over the script. So there's definitely no harm in culling the 1 dots. I would say if the 1 dots are coming through and they're the biggest of the batch, cull them. The 1 dots that are the runts, keep them. So I learned something interesting today, that king prawns are actually really bad for our environment, but I'm definitely not a vegan. I'll still eat them, but I didn't. It was one of those like shock videos that was trying to get you to not eat animals anymore. But I watch them and I find it interesting and think that it's bad, but I still eat the animals. Yeah, like if that's what you want to chase Moist, you can go for a scriptless line. I'm actually pretty fussy on the script. I like a nice solid straight script, but I don't like a double script. And generally fish that have a really solid script have the double script, so it's really hard to find fish in between that line. Flower horn culls has actually been a hot topic in my mind lately. I'm actually thinking about culling a lot heavier. Not that I don't already cull heavy. Out of the last 3 batches, I was about 2,000 flower horns, and I've only selected, out of the 2,000, I've only selected less than 30. Joe, so you don't cull the runts because that gives something for the bigger boisterous boys to attack. So the runts will probably get killed, but it's better than the boisterous boys attacking each other, if that makes sense. Grind up the culls and feed them as a treat. My Viha are starting to get big enough to eat the culls. They're growing so fast, guys. And they're getting so aggressive. There's a red Terra male in there. You guys have seen it. And it's so stressed out because the Viha are just like giving it such a hard time. Feel sorry for the poor bloke. One of my friends actually might have a red Terra girl. I'm going to try and either give him the boy or try and pry the girl out of his hands. And maybe I might breed red Terras. There's been heaps of people asking about red Terras lately, which I actually thought red Terras were quite a common fish in Australia. They definitely used to be, and look at the goldfish. That's why. That's what he does all day, and then ready he'll be like, boop, and he'll just flip over. Yeah, apparently red Terras have disappeared. I didn't know that. I don't really pay a huge attention to American cichlids. I'm actually getting a super common fish this weekend. Like, to the point the guy couldn't even move them on, so I made him a low offer and he accepted. So I'll probably just like put them in a corner somewhere for a year, and then in a year's time they'll be rare again. I've showed feeding the culls a couple of times in videos, but it is something that I'm a bit worried that people will take negatively on YouTube. So if anybody is pro on goldfish, that Riken that just keeps ending up upside down, should I be worried about it, or is that just what goldfish do? He's not the only one that does it. There's a couple. It's actually the Riken on the other side there. That one does it as well. So both the Rikens do it. I was gonna shut it down, guys, and we've just bumped up the viewing back up to 20. It was getting down to 11 there. I thought everybody had had enough. So with the culls and feeding them, definitely only feeding them to things like my red devil and the Viha. I would never feed them to flower horns because too much risk of illness and all that jazz. I really wouldn't mind trying to get a couple more red cap Mirandas and try and breed like a straight line of red cap Mirandas. I'm guessing they would throw all sorts of different stuff, but because I actually noticed, like, I'm pretty sure like most of the goldfish in there are actually crosses. Like the Riken's got like the Aranda head on it. I mean, no, the Ranchu's got like the Riken head. And there was a few others. I noticed like the wrong fish had the wrong traits. Yeah, like, ew, you can't tell whether it's a bladder issue or just dirt. It's done it since I got it. And like, you think it's stuffed, and then I think it might be bladder, because see how it's going, like it went like it's going up, then it just come down. I don't know. I'll just leave it, see what happens. I think it might be bladder because it's getting worse. the first like week I only caught it upside down like once or twice, but look in this video, it's like, because when I made this video, there's no one standing in front of the tank, so it's not got the attention of a human. So yeah, sometimes the videos look different to what you see because they're not at the front trying to get food. Oh, I've actually been meaning to add salt, Blake. Also, it's got aqua soil in it, so the water's super soft in there. But it's not crazy low. I think the pH is like 7.5. I actually did a water test on it the other day. It's the first time I've tested a tank in like 6 months or so, maybe longer. Don't tell anyone. How many tanks do you have? T-Bones. I think it was like 46 tanks. Someone in the chat might remember. If Shev's still watching, he'll remember. Probably not watching anymore, but we counted them on the live stream. I thought I had 30, and then we counted, and I had 40 something. So that's how out of control it gets, because I've actually got like 15, 16 more tanks than I thought I actually had. Yeah. So I'm actually, when I end the live stream, which is like right now, I'm going to throw some salt in the tank. Everyone that I've spoke to that's had goldfish has said throw in a cup of salt when you do a water change. But because it's on an automatic drip system, my plan is just to throw a cup of salt in once a week. Wow, your pH is 6.4 to 6.8. Is that out of the tap? Australian fish technically swim upside down. pH is easier to raise. You can just put crushed coral in the filter, or you can put limestone in the tank. You can also use buffers and all that, but crushed coral is a more consistent way to stabilize your pH. I'm pretty lucky as far as African cichlids. My tap water is 8.5 pH, and then if you leave it for 24 hours, it settles down to 8, which is why I've got so many Africans, and I've got I don't have catfish. Even this tank's got Fluval aqua soil, which is like 6.5 pH stable or something, and even that tank only sits at 7.5 pH. Blake's struggling with 3 tanks. It gets hard. The main thing is automatic water changes. If you watch my video with the full Rumbles ramble the other day, all the centralized things is what makes life easy. And someone commented, I did miss the fact that I've got centralized heating. So there's 5 centralized systems in that fish room. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go put salt in that tank because besides chatting to you guys, I've actually been watching this video and realizing that goldfish really isn't well. But I'll let you guys know how I go with the salt in one of the videos. Maybe I should make a video on it. Nah. I don't want to start doing goldfish how-to videos, then I definitely am going to get dislikes. Texas Holy Rock definitely raises pH. Moist says that, yeah. Constant pH is better than up and down pH, but 6.4 is low depending on what you've got. I definitely generally try to tailor my fish keeping to what my tap water is, but I'm horrible at keeping soft water fish. I've had like L333s, L475 or something, 493, I can't remember. Just the cheaper ones, and they all died. Anyway, on that negative note, I'm going to end the broadcast, guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. If you hit the like button on the way out, that would be pretty cool.